All right, everyone. Quiet down in the back, and we'll get our show started. Daniel?
You guys ready? Okay, here we go. All right, everybody. We're finally here to kick off the 2023 season of Monster Energy Supercross and the inaugural season of SuperMotocross and the SuperMotocross World Championships. I'm Daniel Blair. This is Jason Wygant. We'll be the host of the press conference today. A lot of information coming out in this press conference, but the meat and potatoes will be the Q&A with the riders, 450, 250, and some of the team managers, Jason.
Yep, we'll ask some questions, but we'll open it up to the media to do that as well. We do want to thank key partners, though, that helped make this happen, both Monster Energy Supercross, Pro Motocross, and the SuperMotocross World Championship, such as Monster Energy and Fly Racing, and of course the riders, the teams, their sponsors, the original equipment OEM manufacturers who helped make this whole thing go. And it's really, really exciting because there's enough hype every year when we come to Anaheim 1 for the kickoff to Monster Energy Supercross, but Daniel, we're going even bigger because it's going to be a whole new era starting in 2023.
That's right. And most importantly, the traditions of Supercross and motocross are intact. So no changes there. We are starting a 17-round Supercross championship tomorrow night, followed by an 11-round Pro Motocross championship, and then the additional 3 rounds that'll make up the Super Motocross World Championship playoffs. And Jason, that's very exciting for everybody. I know everyone's heard the information, but there's a lot more to reveal today with that, including the schedule for the playoff rounds. But first, let's get into the format on how the riders will qualify for the SMX playoffs. The top 20 riders in combined points will automatically be seeded into the 3-round SMX playoffs. A rider can also automatically qualify for the end-of-season competition by winning a Supercross main event or a motocross overall victory. They will be placed along with the remaining in positions 21 to 30 and will have an opportunity to race their way into the 22-rider field at each playoff round. The SuperMotocross World Championship events will be a 2-moto format with a maximum of 26 points for round 1 and 52 points for round 2. The World Championship finale, right here at the Los Angeles Coliseum, will raise the stakes with a maximum of 78 points available to the title hopefuls. The historic 2023 season will feature 31 championship events, and the remarkable athletes will compete for a record $10 million in prize money and the prestige of racing for the inaugural SMX World Championship. And I think it's important to give some clarity on the format. And Jason, it starts with the top 20. Top 20 in 250 and 450 points combined through Supercross and Motocross will automatically qualify for the playoffs. That will also be their seeding, but those aren't the only riders that will be racing those days.
Yeah, riders ranked 21 through 30 in points in each class will have a chance to qualify through the last chance qualifier, but they'll have to go through the LCQ at all 3 rounds. And also, if there's a race winner, either an overall in motocross or a main event in Supercross that isn't in the top 20 in points, they can race their win, but they would still have to go through the last chance qualifier. It's the best of what you've already come to know and love. The regular 17-round Monster Energy Supercross Championship, crowning champions, handing out #1 plates in May, the Pro Motocross Championship hitting the traditional stops, handing out #1 plates in August, and then an additional 3 races in the end with a lot of money on the line.
Yeah, a lot of money. $10 million is at stake this year in 2023. That'll be spread across Supercross, Motocross, and the SMX World Championship playoffs. So very exciting. A lot of information that's coming here in the next few minutes before we get to the Riders Q&A. But before we do, let's take a look at the broadcast schedule that was announced just a couple weeks ago. And I'm also excited to announce the broadcast team for 2023. Jason Wygant and myself will join Lee Diffie, Ricky Carmichael, Will Christian, and Jason Thomas this season. They're all here in attendance. And also Todd Harris and James Stewart will be also part of the broadcast team. As you look at the schedule, there's a few things to note. Number 1, all 31 rounds will be live on Peacock. That is the home for Supercross, Motocross, and Super Motocross World Championships. We'll also have races on NBC and USA. And here's some new information I found out today. Every round, all 31, will be re-aired on CNBC. So a lot of options. Again, the most accessible sport there is, period. We have multiple platforms to be able to give you guys Supercross this year. Domestically, Peacock. Internationally, we have the SuperMotocross Video Pass, which is available to viewers outside of the country. Race Day Live is back for 2023 in Supercross. It'll be added to the Super Motocross playoffs as well, and it will be part of the Pro Motocross Championship this year also. SMX Insider is a brand new show that was launched a few weeks back with Jason Wygant and myself. Those will air every single Thursday on YouTube. A couple months ago, we were able to announce the Los Angeles Coliseum as the big finale for 2023. We announced the dates of the first 2 playoff rounds, but we were not able to announce the locations, and Jason Wygant will be able to do that right now.
Thanks, Daniel. Yes, we're going to break some news here. So back in October, we announced this new format of racing, the Super Motocross World Championship, and the 3 dates and 1 race location, the finale on October 14th at the Los Angeles Coliseum. But today, for the first time, we're going to give you the venues for the other 2 rounds. And even though Daniel and I are the SMX insiders, we heard a lot of rumors of where these races would go. When I first heard where they were going, they were not the ones that I had heard with the rumors. So you might be surprised at our locations for the SuperMotocross playoff rounds. It's going to start on September the 9th, and the location is going to be Z-Max Dragway outside of Charlotte Motor Speedway in Concord, North Carolina. If you look at the screen here, we've got a mock-up of what the track map will look like. Now, Z-Max Dragway is unique compared to other drag racing tracks because it's 4 wide. That gives us a lot more room in which to build Supercross-type obstacles. But these are designed to be hybrid tracks, so you can see there's also a chance for the riders to go out in the back of Z-Max Dragway and get more traditional motocross-type terrain. And maybe the best part about Z-Max Dragway, they like to call themselves the Bellagio of drag strips because they have really nice suites and luxury boxes and grandstands. If you want that feel to racing, we can provide that. But they've also set up the track where the fans get that traditional motocross feel where they can line the fence with the bikes going by and absorb the elements and the weather. So whether you're a traditional motocross fan and wants to be down on the ground floor or someone who wants to be in the luxury boxes, Z-Max Dragway is going to offer that. And on a personal note, I happen to live in that area. It's maybe the heart of motorsports in the United States to be just in that Charlotte, North Carolina region. The people in that area have been hungry. They've never had a race there at Z-Max Dragway ever before. So there's going to be a lot of pent-up demand. That should be really exciting. It is September the 9th, Z-Max Dragway at Charlotte Motor Speedway in Concord, North Carolina. So that is our first playoff round. Again, that is September the 9th. We'll have a weekend off, and after that, our next round is September 23rd, and we'll announce it here at Chicagoland Speedway in Joliet, Illinois. That will be our second playoff round, and this is amazing how much space we have been given to work with here. They no longer have the NASCAR event there, so they're giving us 900 acres in which to play with, and as you see the track map, it is unbelievable how much room we have to build a hybrid track. It's a world-class facility. Chicagoland Speedway provides all the modern amenities that motorsports fans expect when purchasing an event ticket. And it's no stranger to big events. It's hosted IndyCar races and NASCAR races for more than 2 decades. So that's going to be really exciting. And maybe the best part about having an event in North Carolina, in Illinois, and then wrapping it up in California is that it fills out the 3 geographic regions. We have a race in the East, we have a race in the Midwest, and we have a race on the West Coast, which is really exciting as well. Of course, as you know, it does all wrap up at the LA Coliseum on October 14th, and that's symbolic because the LA Coliseum hosted the first ever what would be considered super motocross race, where they put a supercross track, motocross style event in a stadium. They called it Super Bowl of Motocross then. It will be the place where we crown the first ever Super Motocross World Champion on October the 14th at the LA Coliseum. So that's exciting. SuperMotocross.com for all your information on that. We will now move back to the Monster Energy Supercross Series in focus, including some very special events within the 17-round championship from now through May. Daniel?
The specialty races of 2023, and we'll start with the Triple Crowns that are back in familiar locations here in Anaheim at round 4. Anaheim 2 will be the first, then Arlington, then Glendale. Those are your 3 Triple Crown events. The East-West Showdowns are both late this year, one in East Rutherford, and of course the finale in Salt Lake City, Utah. St. Jude is back for 2023, and it starts here in Anaheim at Anaheim 2. It is the Love Moto Stop Cancer Text to Donate campaign. That's where it begins. Then you have East Rutherford, which is the Love Moto Stop Cancer Race, where we'll be hosting patients and their families, teams, and of course the athletes will be inspiring the artwork on the bikes and on the gear for that race. The St. Jude online auction begins the week of Denver and will run through the finale at Salt Lake City. And there'll be Jackson guitars, autographed fly racing helmets, and much more for that auction. We are almost at $1 million raised with Supercross. We're going to blow past that in 2023, and that's all because of everybody who is involved. Again, the riders and the teams for their participation, then all the fans that text to donate throughout the season. We're going to blow right past $1 million this year with St. Jude. Military Appreciation Race is in Tampa this year. The teams and riders, again, will do artwork on the bikes and the graphics so we can give a huge salute to our military. That is in Tampa in 2023. Supercross Futures is back 5 races this year: Anaheim 2, Arlington, Glendale, East Rutherford, and Salt Lake City. And the big news with Futures this year is that all the main events for Futures will be at night, during the night program, with the stands full of fans, and of course they'll be part of the broadcast as well. So last year we had 1, this year all 5 will be part of the night show, which is super exciting for the young riders of the sport. KTM Junior Supercross, presented by Wells Fargo, is back for its 24th season. Great opportunity for the young kids to get their feet wet in hopes of someday being Supercross stars themselves. Anaheim, San Diego, Anaheim 2, Houston, Tampa, Arlington, Indianapolis, Glendale, Nashville, and Denver will host the 10 traditional KTM Junior races, and then the championship, the 11th round, taking the winners from the first 10, will be in Salt Lake City, Utah to close out the championship. That's a lot of news. We have more coming in just a moment, but now it's time for the fun part, which is the Q&A. So I'd like to start by bringing up the team managers. We have Lars Lindstrom, Jeremy Coker, Larry Brooks, Nathan Ramsey, Ian Harrison, Dan Fahey, and Max Lee. And Jason Wygant will take it from here.
Thanks, gang. Yes, we'll ask some questions of the team managers. This is the chance now for the media to ask. I'll just get it started with one question, and I'll go to the team that won the Monster Energy Supercross Championship and the Pro Motocross Championship last year. I'll go to you, Jeremy Coker, of the Monster Energy Yamaha Star Racing team. You do have an all-new motorcycle this year, so just talk about the development process and trying to make sure you guys are ready right here for Saturday night.
Yeah, we got a new motorcycle this year. Yamaha did a great job giving us a really good platform once again to start with. The team worked really hard in the off season, and I think we're looking good. Both riders are happy on the motorcycle, and it's kind of nice to have a little bit of a new challenge coming into the season. So it was fun, and I think we're as ready as we can be.
Okay, we'll open it up to the media. We got microphones being passed around, so just raise your hand if you want to ask a question of our assembled team managers.
Jamie, Vital MX. Ian, last year the boys kind of struggled in the whoops specifically. I know that's something they've been working on. I think they still struggled a little bit in Paris. Have you guys made up any ground, you feel like?
Yeah, we've been busy too. We had a new platform last year, and I think we lost our way a little bit. It was a good bike, but you know, once you start losing ground, you start to second guess yourself, and you run around and many times in circles. But I feel like late October we really started to make some ground, and I'm like Jeremy, I'm ready to get going. I want to see how they are. We got 5 riders with 5 different setups, so we're going to see how it goes.
Hey, Michael Antonovich, Swap Moto Live. This is for Larry Brooks. Larry, over here. It's great to see you back again, especially in the opportunity that you have with the HEP team as they grow and they have Ken Roxon. What's this like for you after so many teams that you've managed? What's it like to get back into this position?
It's fun, obviously. I like working with 450s, and I've been working with the Suzuki 250 for a while, and to go back to the 450 classes, to me, it's more comfortable. There's different things you have to work on different makes, but the 450 just seems like I like to work with it more. So yeah, it seems fun. Ken Roxon's a good guy. You know, I'm still kind of learning him, but yeah, should be fun. Like those guys said, like, we have to go racing. We got to a certain point, and now it's time to go race and see where we are and see how the bike works. So you never know till you race.
Alex Gobert, MotoOnline.com. For Dan Fahey, looking back at last season with Jason Anderson, obviously such a successful year, second in the championship for Supercross. How important and how much does it help that momentum and just what you guys kind of picked up at the end of last season going into this year? Is that consistency important to you guys as a team?
Absolutely. Consistency is everything for us. I think for all of us, as the guys mentioned earlier, changes are sometimes good, sometimes not so good. And for us, everything's been pretty consistent. We got that baseline now. You know, Jason was brand new to the team last year. This year, you know, he's much more familiar with us, much more familiar with the bike, and familiar with, you know, the surroundings in general. So we're really looking forward to this coming season for sure.
Lars, with Kenny leaving and now Colt on board and doing some of the testing for the bike, and I know that he and Chase have a little bit different setting, a different way they like the bike set up. Do you feel like Chase is going to be more comfortable this year than last year just because of the bike setup?
I believe so. I mean, we had a few things we needed to work on last year that, Chase was really hoping for us to improve on, and so a lot of focus was on that. A lot of that got taken on by Japan and HRC, along with us on the team, and so, together we were able to address some of those issues that Chase really felt we needed to address, and made some improvements that way. And a huge part of that was Colt Nichols, him coming on board and having a similar type of need for what the bike does and the chassis and everything. He was able to, because living in California, he was able to run through a lot of those things and take us in a direction that when we introduced those to Chase, he really liked that direction. And so they have a really close setup, closer than the two guys had last year, and that's definitely helped for Chase, yeah.
Nathan, with Christian coming on board, and of course Malcolm last year was third overall in points. How much are they working together, kind of playing off each other, and have they made improvements? Because there was a pretty big points gap between third and second. What have the two guys learned and changed on the bikes to maybe shorten that gap?
Yeah, with Christian coming on board, he jumped in with full commitment, which was great. It's been great to have him around, and just watching him ride is pretty fun to do. So I think with him jumping into the Baker's Factory program, I see an elevation. It's like one day it's here, the next day the next guy steps up. So I think everyone, Malcolm had to answer to that along with everyone else there. So I believe that they worked really hard in the off season, and we're in a good spot all the way around from the crew to the riders, and I feel good, and I'm just ready to race, just like these guys are saying. Let's get out there and let's race. Let's see where the chips fall.
Question for Larry Brooks, all the way over here. Hi, Larry. Yep. All right, never mind. All right. Hey, I know you can't help but be honest, because that's how you are. Do you really think you're at 100% ready to go for Ken Roczen with kind of late start you got? Or do you think that this will be a bit of a, I mean, look, Kenny can win anyways, we know that, but do you feel like it'll be a learning process the first month here because of the late start, and you'll be figuring each other out and the bike out as we go?
Yeah, I mean, I think our base is pretty good. Obviously, they worked with the motorcycle last year, and I think it's in a pretty good spot. Kenny obviously made changes that made him more comfortable. But again, we don't know where we are, He's really fast at our tracks, but when you go to racetracks with another 19 super fast guys, you kind of see what level you're at. So, I couldn't even tell you where we're at or anything like that until Saturday night. But it should be fun. It's exciting.
Hey, Andrew with Revista Moto. Hey, this is a question from Max Lee. Max, can you talk about how you feel about your team and your position? You're sitting next to some veteran managers. You're new to this. What is it like? Are you nervous? Are you intimidated? Are you excited? Are you, talk about how you approach this first few races. Thanks.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit of a learning curve for me. New position, new role. Got some big shoes to fill. TK did a good job helping me. I've been working with the team the last 3 years, and I know the guys super well, and the whole crew's been awesome. I can't thank them enough. And really, the off-season's been great. We got a new motorcycle. The boys are happy. All in all, in a good spot. But yeah, just learning as we go. Pretty happy, and I think we're going to have a good night Saturday night.
Aaron Hansel, Racer X, is for Jeremy. It's my understanding that Justin Cooper is going to be doing some select 450 rounds, and I was hoping you could elaborate on why just a few, why maybe you wouldn't put him on in more rounds.
Yeah, I think obviously Justin's main focus is to try to win the motocross championship, and he also wants to gain a little bit of experience on the 450 for Supercross. But it's something that we're not going to put him out there until he's comfortable and we're comfortable. There's no rush for us and there's no rush for him. So yeah, when he's ready and we're ready, we'll go ahead and throw him out there for a couple rounds. But like I said, his focus and our focus is to go win the 250 Motocross Championship.
All right. Those are questions for our team managers. Want to thank Larry Brooks, Ian Harrison, Lars Lindstrom, Jeremy Coker, Dan Fahey, Nathan Ramsey, and Max Lee, our team managers. And we'll head up to the stage. We'll bring Daniel and our athletes. Thanks, team managers. And for the media, we will have a half hour of one-on-one time after our press conference is over where you can talk to both the team managers and the athletes. Daniel?
Thank you, Jason. Yeah, we'll move on now to the 250 class. The riders joining us today, Jet Lawrence, RJ Hampshire, Pierce Brown, Max Volan, Styles Robertson, Levi Kitchen, Dylan Schwartz, Austin Faulkner, and Cameron McAdoo. And as they make their way to the stage, something to note, 11 of the top 15 riders in last year's 250 East Championship have moved to the West Coast this year. So familiar faces from a year ago. You remember the battles between Jet Lawrence and RJ Hampshire, Cameron McAdoo, Austin Faulkner. We'll get a chance to see that again in 2023. Jet, I'm going to start with you. It's been a while since you've raced in Anaheim, and you're 3 championships in a row right now, looking for your 4th one. You haven't won the 250 West Championship yet. In fact, the last time that was done was Grant Langston in 2005 and 2006 when he won the East and the West. What's it feel like coming back to Anaheim, this iconic venue, with an opportunity to do something that hasn't been done in a long time?
It's exciting. Anaheim and I have a bit of a love-hate relationship, so we're hopeful we can clear that up while we're here. But no, I feel like obviously my main goal this year is trying to get another championship, just trying to learn more stuff before 450. And I'm pumped to be back here at Anaheim. Hopefully it goes well, like I said. And yeah, just can't wait to get underway. Hopefully we can do the same, but we have to wait and see.
All right, we'll open it up to the media.
Jamie, Vital MX. Max, this contract year for you, unfortunately, you've had numerous injuries the last couple years. We haven't really been able to see what you're capable of. What are your goals? What are your expectations? Is it we got to go all out for contract year, or is it let's be consistent and get through it?
No, definitely, I think be consistent and smart. Definitely want to stay on the bike this year. We made a lot of good changes this off-season. I'm feeling really comfortable on the bike, and the team and I have been putting in a lot of work. I've been working back at the Baker's factory, so I've just been working on, consistent laps, doing motos, racing with the guys, and I've had a clean off-season, no crashes, no injuries. I feel pretty ready. I'm in a good spot. I'm not gonna, I don't think I'll go out there and just win or dominate. It's just kind of, building from the start. So I feel like outdoors I'm consistent. So I have that consistency in me. I just need to do it in Supercross.
Hey, Ryan Itzen with Cycle News. My question's for Styles. Can you just talk about joining a new team, racing West Coast, and kind of how your off-season went?
Yeah, joining Star Yamaha has been amazing so far. I guess their reputation speaks for itself. The bike's been unreal. Took me not very long to get used to it and comfortable. And West Coast is going to be new for me, but I'm excited. It's closer to friends and family in Cali, so I'm ready and looking forward to getting behind the gate.
Hey, this is a question for Austin. Austin, can you talk about how you're approaching the first few races, and do you think that you 3 or 4 years ago you were considered a top prospect or a leader on this 250 series? Do you still feel the same way, or do you have some reservations, or you're taking it as a long series and 17 races and you'll see how that first few races play out?
Yeah, I mean, definitely at this point I'm more of a veteran of the class, I guess. I would say the plan was to probably not even be in the 250 class this long, but, obviously things happen. I've had a lot of injuries and I've had to, that's still where I am. So, it's not really changing. Last year I came in probably a little bit maybe tentative, trying to, just kind of be there every race, where this year I think I'm going to try to come in a little bit hotter and not be so, I guess, reserved, try to go out there and try to win every race and put myself in a good position, but also not just make stupid decisions on the bike. Try to still be smart, but have a little bit more intensity than I came in with last year. I think that's what I needed to do.
Cam, you and your teammate Austin last year were two of the guys that, before Austin got hurt, obviously, that can consistently keep Jet honest. What's it going to take? We know his speed. What's it going to take to run that speed and beat him and knock him off the platform?
Obviously, consistency, like we all said, I guess. That was what I suffered with last year, and I really enjoyed racing up front. And I think just bringing a little more each time and pressure. Obviously, I respect not only Jet but all these guys that I'm racing, but I'm here to win. Like, that's what I work for. That's what the teams work for. That's our goal. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow night.
Alex Gobert, MotoOnline.com. For RJ, how important is it to start the season strong and get a result early on in this season to really, I guess, to get your momentum started for this championship?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, you can tell in most of the series that I've done, once I did get that good result, it kind of snowballed from there, and I had good weekends after that. I'm confident. I had a really strong offseason, know where I should be, so that's the main thing, is just coming to A1, being out in California here for a bit, just kind of different mindset and enjoying it. We're having fun during the week. The team has been really solid, got a good group of people, so come out of A1 happy and ready to go and just keep building from there.
Hey, Michael Antonovich with Swap Moto Live. This is for Levi. Another year of Supercross. Last year was your rookie season. It was good, but there were, hurdles, stumbling blocks, things like that. Same thing happened in Pro Motocross with a win, but then an injury. How does it feel just another year under your belt, and what have you learned to smoothen out Supercross?
Yeah, last year was a little tough for me, but I think coming in this year, I just want to, kind of ride with my own potential and just stay as smart as I can and just try to build every weekend. With only, finishing one main event last year, I almost feel like a rookie again coming into this season. But as far as, the off season and everything like that goes, I got a full off season, so just gonna try to build and do my best and show what I'm capable of.
Pierce, you struggled the last couple of years. You've had some injuries. How's your mental mindset with kind of showing us what you've got? Because you were a top amateur prospect, and it just hasn't gone the way you wanted it to. What have you been working on to mentally be better?
Yeah, exactly. I had a few rough couple of years starting out. I feel like last year was kind of my year of growing pains. I showed some speed. I ran up there with the guys and had some good races, had some bad ones, but it's my time to fully put it all together, and that's my goal this year. I want to be a contender and show these guys what I got, because like you said, I came out of amateurs as one of the top prospects, and it just didn't go up to playing the first year or two. But I'm feeling pretty good. Had a good off season, so I'm looking forward to this year.
Dan with Main Event Moto. This question's for Dylan. Dylan, you're part of a brand new team, or a growing team with Hep Suzuki. You got a new team manager, Larry Brooks, Ken Roxon, Kyle Chisholm, Shane McElrath. How are you feeling going into this 2023 season with a pretty much new staff and some guys that you can maybe get some ideas and some pointers from?
I'm feeling really comfortable compared to previous years. Just having those guys around, having Ken, Shane, Chiz, I've learned a lot over the off season, and our bike is working really good right now. Suspension's awesome. So this is probably the most confident I've came in so far. So I'm excited to get out there, mix it up with the guys, and really just put myself out there, up in the top 10 really, and just kind of mix it up and get some confidence and get some good results.
Hey Dylan, I have another question. Kenny joining the team late on. You're a second year with the team. Did his presence on it bring any more pressure or more support from Suzuki? How has it been, and have you been able to interact with him much?
Yeah, he's been up in Madeira riding with us quite a bit, and just from watching him at the practice track, I've learned so much. It's really crazy to see him actually in person, just not at a Supercross race, and some of the things he does is just crazy. So He's been helping me out a little bit at the track, which is cool. He's a super nice guy and been super friendly. And with the team, it's brought a lot of good vibes around. I think we're all just striving to do good this year, and I think we're all feeling pretty confident.
Levi Kitchen, Josh Mosman here, Motocross Action. You grew up at Washougal, Pacific Northwest, lots of rain up there. How much were you wishing that they didn't cover the track this week when all the rain was coming down?
Honestly, I just hope that it's dry. I really don't like the mud, and I've never rode a Supercross track when it's that muddy. So either way, I mean, I'm in for, anything, but I hope it's dry, to be honest.
That's fair. That's fair. RJ Hampshire, what's the difference between 22 RJ versus 23 RJ? What can we expect?
I mean, growth. I've been here, long enough, but I still learn stuff every year, and I wasn't necessarily confident going racing next year thinking I could win. I mean, I know I could, but we just struggled pretty bad during the offseason. I was ready to go racing at A1 last year. We just weren't up to par with kind of what we were dealt with. I know where my speed's at this year with the guys I've been training with. I mean, we got a really good group down there, and man, it's just putting it together on the weekends. Like, I know what I'm capable of. Hey, we're still writing a story, so hopefully we can figure it out this year, and then I can be in this title fight.
I'll ask one on this. Jet, we know that you said you're going to race a 450 outdoors, and I think you're not going to race a 450 on the East, or is a chance we might see you on a 450 in Supercross this year. What's the plan?
Originally, yeah, I was thinking of racing a few East Coast on the 450, but kind of just playing the smarter game. I feel like it'd be a little silly if we're in a title hunt on the West Coast and end up injuring myself on a 450. So I'm going to play the safer route and just kind of wait till outdoors, focus on 250 right now because that's my main goal with the championship and that. But yeah, just kind of wait till a 450 comes with outdoors.
Last question for Austin Faulkner and Cameron McAdoo. Typically, Pro Circuit Kawasaki doesn't announce the East-West until maybe the last minute. We got that news maybe a week or two ago. Has that changed your approach through the holidays, knowing that you are racing Anaheim and maybe having a chance to know a little earlier than normal? Austin, I'll start with you.
Not really. To be honest, like nowadays, there's only 4 races before it goes back east. So it's not as bad as it used to be, kind of, where it's like, oh, you have to completely back off your training and completely change everything. It was only, it didn't really matter to me. It's only a month difference or whatever. So for that, I can go a month more of training, or I can go race right now. I felt like I was ready to go right now. So when Mitch told me, I think it was, he called me and told me, I think the day before Christmas or a couple days before Christmas. And I was like, yeah, I mean, whatever you want. Like, if you want me to go now, then I'm ready. If you want me to wait, then I'll wait. So either way, I was fine. Didn't really matter who's racing this coast or who's racing the other coast. At the end of the day, I just got to line up and try to beat whoever else is on the Kate. That's kind of my look at it.
Cameron?
For me, my approach is in the off season, no matter what, to be ready to race at the first round of West, whether even after we find out, if I had found out I was East or something, like, still up till today, I'm not guaranteed. So I always prepare to be ready to race wherever, whenever. So that's my approach, and that way, for me, it didn't have any changes or any surprises. I just wanted to be as ready as I could be, and I'm really excited to go racing.
All right, well, good luck, guys. This is your 250 West for 2023. Thank you, guys. And we will transition now over to the Premier class, the 450 division. We'll start with Eli Tomac, Chase Sexton, Jason Anderson, Justin Barsha, Christian Craig, Ken Roxon, Aaron Plessinger, Malcolm Stewart, Marvin Muscan, Cooper Webb, Adam Cincerillo, Dylan Ferrandis, and Colt Nichols. Eli, I'll start with you. Coming into this championship, you have an opportunity to do something that hasn't been done in a while, which is defend a championship. Last rider to do that was Ryan Dungey. What's it feel like to come into the season with the number one on your plate, maybe, possibly your last year racing Supercross, and an opportunity to back it up, double down, and defend that championship?
Well, it's great to be here, and just to be here healthy. Like that's number one, right? Is make it to this point in time being healthy. And yeah, I get to run the number one plate here and get another shot at it. So, yeah, we're ready to go.
Ready to go.
Yep.
All right.
Jamie with Vital MX. Jason, last year you missed the championship by a very slim margin, a few mistakes, a few being taken outs, taken away. Maybe you got the number one plate. What do you do to clean up the mistakes that you made mentally at times where maybe you got a little hot-headed or over anxious for certain things and kind of took yourself out of a winning?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, you know, it was 9 points at the end, but Eli didn't race the last round. So, but I do think there was a lot of mistakes that really cost me from, you know, at least pushing the championship to where it was decided in the last round. And I think those are things that, you know, obviously, I guess we're going to find out if I could, you know, avoid and I could be up front and be able to, you know, still keep the same speed, but also, you know, eliminate those things that cost me points in the end. I feel like I kind of have been in the situation enough that I'm kind of tired of having those things cost me, that I'm really just going to try and, you know, race hard and see how it plays out.
Alex Gobert, MotoOnline.com for Christian. Obviously, such a strong season last year in the 250 class. Now you're on a new team, up in the 450 category. What's the mindset going in, and what are your early expectations, you know, in the 450 class full time?
Yeah, last year was obviously good, so let's just keep that momentum going. New team. I mean, I'm sure everyone will say up here that, you know, they had an awesome off season. The bike was amazing. I learned a lot, grew, and I felt like I got faster and built myself better. Obviously, I had a lot of people around me, past champions, obviously, that I trained with, and yeah, we pushed ourselves all off season, so expectations are pretty high, but it's kind of an unknown for me right now. It's I don't know where I'm going to fit in with these guys. My goal is to put myself in a good position on the start, and then you know, just believe in my speed and see where we fit in.
Nick Steele, MotoOnline.com.au. This is for Eli. Eli, going into this, we think is going to be your final year racing Supercross. How does that feel for you? Do you sit here and do you enjoy this a little bit more now? Does it make you think differently? Does it change your aspect? What's it been like coming into Anaheim?
Yeah, it's hard to say. You know, I'm not going to like say right now if I'm going to be done this season or not. But you know, just as you just get older in general, you start, you know, seeing things differently and enjoying it more. The racing, at least it's been that way for me. So I don't know. That's just kind of happened like since the middle of my 20s, or, you know, a little bit later here. Now I'm 30, but yeah, we'll see where it takes us, and obviously I'm going to enjoy the moment as much as I can.
Dan with Main Event Moto. This question's for Cooper. Cooper, last year you did the program, your training program on your own, leading up to Supercross. Went back to the Baker's factory last year. Had a full boot camp this year. Are you in a better position this year in the 2023 season to start?
Yeah, no doubt. I think for sure, obviously back with Alden is something that seemed to work in the past, and looking forward to where I'm at right now. Feeling really good, and yeah, I think it was a lot last year, like you said. At this point, we thought we were ready, and definitely wasn't. You know, with the new bike and stuff, it was tough. So we're in a lot better spot. We got another year with the bike, and feeling pretty confident. Feel ready to go, and we'll see where we stack up. And look forward to going racing.
Question for Christian. Steve Mathis, Racer X. Some journalists at Racer X think that you're a rookie. I don't really agree. You've got 11 450 Supercross races. You've raced these guys outdoors. You're an older guy. Do you feel like a rookie? Do you think that, I mean, you're not intimidated by these guys, I would imagine. You're kind of like on their level, racing them so often. Would you feel like a rookie?
No, I think we went back and forth with this a couple times. I don't feel like I'm a rookie. my age. I've raced a lot of outdoors with these guys, battled with them, and just like last summer. So I kind of know what it's going to be like, the pace and stuff like that. So do not consider myself a rookie.
Thank you. I'll pass that on. Second question, Eli, the 23 Yamaha. What do you like about it? What does it do better? What are you still working on? Talk about that a little bit.
Number one is the weight saving. Like everyone asked me that, and that's the first thing I felt when I got on the bike is how much weight is saved, and it is a big deal when you go back and forth. And we did a little bit of that, between 22 and 23. So that's the biggest thing for me. It's just that lighter weight. I mean, it's just weight saving in general. So, and the rest is the rest is just fine tuning, just fitting it to you. Period.
Hey, this is a question for Adam. Adam, can you talk about where you are mentally as you approach the season, and where you are and how you sort of reflect on injuries or demons in the past, and how the expectations that you've had since you were a super young elite rider, how do you address or how do you reconcile that with where you are now?
I think we all have this version or have this idea of the way that our career wants to go, right? Like obviously everybody wants to come in and do what Eli's been doing, win a bunch of races, win a bunch of championships, and as far as my results the last few years, it's been unfortunate. I've had some crashes, some injuries, have taken a lot of time off, and I really love this stuff. I mean, even just being back here in the room with everybody here and seeing everybody again. I mean, these are my people, I like being here, and it's not fun to be away from it. But overall, I'm proud of my body of work. I'm proud of how I've handled things. I still feel like I have a lot left to give, a lot left in the tank. I'm excited to be here and to be present in the moment, be grateful, and just really grateful to be here.
Cooper. Yeah, Cooper, you're a two-time champion, but they put you in the back row. What's thoughts going on there?
I'm washed up.
That's fair. All right. Ken Roxon, man, new bike, new season. You got the suit on again, got the colored shirt, so we're happy to see that. But did you think you'd be, I guess, how confident were you that you were going to be here in this Anaheim 1 press conference heading into the offseason when you finished your offseason races and you still had a lot of decisions to make? Did you know that you were going to be here, or was there ever a doubt in your mind?
I honestly, I didn't really care. I like being the underdog, I guess you can say. Obviously, my offseason looked a lot different this year, and I'm sure expectations are a bit different as well. And I'm happy to be up here. It's always a good feeling, and going into the new season as well with a new start and a fresh start is great. And I think in my off-season racing, I feel like I've shown that I still got some speed, and I'm glad to be up here.
Ryan Nitzen with Cycle News. My question's for Colt Nichols. Colt, we didn't really get to see you at all last year. Now you got a new bike, new team, new gear. Can you just tell us where you're at and catch us up?
Kind of, I guess, battling a little bit of demons coming back here to A1. I got some good ones from 2019. I got to win the opener in the lights class, and then last year had the big crash, and it's been a long off season, if you will. But I'm just excited, man. Like a lot of these guys, it's just we had a good off season and new bike and new kind of opportunity, new everything, and didn't really expect to be in the spot we're in, but. I'm just excited, man. It's been a really, really long time since I've been behind the gate. A lot of these guys have been racing all year. So for me, it's just trying to get my feet wet back on the starting gate again and get that race, intensity and fun back. But to be honest, man, like I said, the off season went better than expected, and I'm just pumped to be here. I'm just glad to be sitting on this stage and get a chance to race against these guys and just see where we're at.
I got a question for the three new dads up here. Got Justin, Cooper, and Marvin. Do you guys time it for off-season babies, or what is dad life like coming into A1?
Yeah, you always try to time it in the off season, that's for sure.
it worked out good for us, and it's been fun off season just having our son, and it's been really enjoyable. Definitely a lot of learning, adapting, but definitely makes you feel really, really grateful for life and this racing career we have. And I'm sure that the other guys will say the same. It's just a lot of excitement, a lot of fun being a dad. That's for sure. I've been enjoying it.
Yeah, I guess my dad didn't give me the best birds and bees talk, but no, it's been awesome. Like Justin said, it's been obviously for me a life changer, and I'm sure everyone else would agree. So it gives you something to look forward to other than just racing your dirt bike.
Yeah, I guess we kind of time it for sure. It's better to have the baby before the season than during the season. Kind of set up everything before we starting, and obviously flying next weekend. So it's easy to drive to Anaheim, but it'll be different to fly to Oakland. But yeah, we're ready with Mathilde. Obviously, my daughter was born a little bit earlier, so she gave us 2 weeks, more before the season. So we appreciate that.
Adam, I want to ask you specifically about the numbness in the arm you've been dealing with. Where do you feel like you are percentage-wise? How close to 100%? And do you feel like it will bother you at the end of a heat race, or probably not a heat race, but a main event?
No, I feel good. The last couple months, I won't lie, when I first got back on the bike, I did have some things that I needed to work through, some things that weren't ideal. Obviously, you want to be able to feel your handlebars the best you can. But I actually got a little procedure done, and everything's felt really good so far. I don't see it causing a problem going forward. Obviously, the goal is to remain healthy. But yeah, man, the last couple of years, that's been definitely something that's frustrated me, not being able to pin down exactly what that was. It's driven me pretty nuts, to be honest. But no, I feel healthy. Feel like I'm in a good spot to battle, and yeah, just stoked to be back here with all these guys and feel good about it.
Dylan Ferrandis, I'm still Steve Mathis' question about the Blue Crew. Last year, you had some things about that bike that you didn't gel with, you didn't really like. I've heard for you it's been improved with the new bike. Just talk about the feel on the new bike.
Yes, definitely. The new bikes suit me just way better than the old one, and I've been struggled a lot the last 2 years in Supercross with it, and yeah, that was a big relief when I first jumped on the new bike, new Yamaha, and yeah, I had a really good winter, the best I had so far in 450 class, and yeah, it was just able to ride and no really chasing the feeling on the bike or whatever, and just able to do a lot of moto and just spend time on the bike and having fun, something I missed, I think, a little bit the last 2 years. So that was definitely a good winter for me.
Malcolm, for you, last year when you signed, everybody's excitement was 2 years. So next year we'll really get to see Malcolm break into everything. How has it been with another season on another new bike, but then another year at Alden's place and in the 450 class and knowing where everything is at?
I think it's been going really good for me. Like I said, all these guys already said they had a good off season for me. I got a little fishing in, so I think that was awesome for me. But more so just, learning the team a little bit more. Of course, we had Cooper come back. Christian is on the team now, so we had some new faces back at Alden. So that's obviously been great to have some good guys that you can also battle with too. So for me, the goal of this year is just pick off where I left off in Supercross and just have fun with it. I say that every year, just have fun and then just enjoy the moment, because you don't really know how each and every race can be. So I just set myself up in small term goals and just focus on each Saturday and go from there.
Chase, for you, over the last 12 months, it's been build. You had this great summer with Eli. We all know that you're one of the contenders now. But how does it feel to be pinned by so many people as the guy that's supposed to take down the defending champion at this point? Is it weird to be in this position, or do you thrive under this pressure?
I think it's definitely a position that I've wanted to be in since I got on a 450. And winning only one race last year wasn't really quite enough for me, I guess, to be a contender. And I had some mistakes, but outdoors I really learned a lot about myself and how I can deal with things. And racing Eli really taught me something that I could have never been taught otherwise. So I'm just looking forward to bringing that in here and into Supercross. It's a new year and everyone's fired up. You can definitely feel that everyone's ready to go, and it's exciting, and I'm stoked everyone's healthy, and I think we're set up for a good year racing. But for me, being in this position, it really is refreshing, and looking forward to going out there and I guess taking what I've done on this whole off season and taking everything from last year and putting it into a solid Supercross season.
Aaron Hans with Racer X. Dylan, the last 2 years haven't been fantastic for you. Are you anxious to show what you can do this year, or is it just another year for you?
I don't know. That wasn't be too good to me. I clinched one championship, but in Supercross it was really bad. So I really have more expectation, and I really want to do better. So yeah, for sure. I have a goal that I wanna achieve is to win the first main event, and I would try the best I can for that.
Chase over here. Last year, obviously outdoors was great, but to be honest, you were frustrated with your bike at times in Supercross. What have you guys done to work on that? What's the setting like? And just be honest, I guess. How's the bike in whoops in Supercross?
As of right now, we're good. My bike is, I would say, a lot different from last year. Between me running the BFR shock, some stuff with the chassis is a lot different, and I was just talking up in the stadium, like, this is the first year I'm actually looking forward to big whoops, and hopefully they get gnarly. So that it's also the off season. We've got a lot of practice laps. It's a lot different when it comes to the race, but for me right now, I'm comfortable, and the bike's a lot different. I'll come out here and say it. It's not the same bike I rode last year in Supercross. So learned a lot outdoors, and it's been really good having Colt on the team. He's brought a lot of just new stuff from riding different bikes and riding the Yamaha and having a little bit of more of an open mind, especially just being on a different manufacturer. So that's been exciting, and like I said, everything's good right now. We're going to go out there and try it out tomorrow, but like I said, it's a lot different, and looking forward to putting it to the test.
Josh again, Motocross Action. Aaron Plessinger, were you looking forward to the rain, and were you wishing that Dirtworks left the track uncovered, or are you happy that it looks as good as it does?
I wish it was still raining right now, but they did an unreal job for, how dry it looks for being raining for 4 days almost straight. They're doing an unreal job. Props to them, because I don't know what I would do if I was a track guy out there working right now. So they're working their butts off, and I wish it was a lot muddier, but hey, you can't get what you want all the time.
It'll make for some good racing with it drier. What about working with Alden Baker? How was your off season, and how hard is he trying to cut your hair?
Oh, not anymore, man. I think we got past that stage. I think he's coming around. He's liking it now. No, it's been good. It's been really, really good. This off season has been one of the best I've ever had. So yeah, I'm looking forward to racing, and I feel ready. My fitness is good. I feel really good on the bike, and I'm just ready to get back behind the gate.
Awesome. And then Justin Barsha, your team manager's younger than you are, and you have a new motorcycle, new training program. What's it like been having Max Lee running the program, and what's your program been like this year? Are you going to be East Coast, West Coast, or mix it both?
Yeah, it's awesome. Max is a legend. He's doing a great job. He's really stepped in and really seamlessly taken over. Really good. TK's still helping out a bit behind the scenes. He's at Trolley Designs more now, so that's cool. Stoked on Max. He's an awesome guy, and he's been a pleasure to work with. Team's been great. New bike's been awesome. I spent quite a bit of time out here in California, and then when we got closer to our son's birth, we went back to Florida, and I spent a little over a month in Florida. So it was quiet in Florida. I just was at my track by myself, putting my head down, grinding, doing my motos, and the bike's been great. And then I came back here to California a few weeks ago, and I can't complain. It's been a fun off season. Really enjoyed it. We'll see where we stack up, but I'm definitely excited with the new bike. I feel like we made a lot of progress for me and the bike since the previous bike. So looking forward to go racing with these guys. It's going to be a really enjoyable season.
Cooper, same thing for you, off season for you with the bike. How's it been? How's it been with Aldon? And coming in Anaheim, how's it look?
Yeah, we made a lot of progress. I've definitely been very difficult this off season with the team. made it very clear that we needed to change a lot, and kind of started this summer. We got to work early and went kind of back to the basics and stepped back to a standard and going from there, and I think that's been good. And like I said, I know at least what I felt in 21, what it takes to win, and where a bike needs to be, and like we got there, I feel like, within this last month. So I'm really excited. I'm ready to get to it, and like you said, being back with Eldon's been honestly really good with the new group, and just getting back to getting in really good shape has been nice. So yeah, I mean, that's where I'm at. I feel like I kind of retired last year, took a year off, and it was much needed, especially this summer, and regroup, and now I'm back just to try to win. That's really the only reason we're racing, so I feel like we're back at that point.
This question's for Ken Roxon, right here. Moto. Question for you. New bike, we've been having these questions about bikes. How are you feeling on the Suzuki this year?
I think it was a change that was desperately needed for me. It kind of came out of nowhere, to be honest, and but overall, I've been feeling really good as well. I have only been on the bike for the last month or so, something like that, a little bit longer than a month. But my work was really just, I want to reestablish myself, right? This last year has been really rough. The results weren't there, and a lot of struggles. And throughout this off season, I have put in a lot of work and was really engaged with anything that I did, and really started loving riding and especially racing again and traveling all over. So this change wasn't necessarily, I didn't really care whether I was faster or better or not, but it's just, I needed something. And going back to Suzuki, I've had some really good results with them before, and I really want to put them back on the map. And we might start off slow tomorrow, or we might be right in the mix. I don't really know, nor do I really care. But I wanna take it step by step and put in the work, and like I said, reestablish myself and get back up to the front, and just not let go and charge hard. And I think with this entire off season that I have created, I was able to charge more towards my goals and dreams, and we're going to start off tomorrow. It's going to be a long season, you know, and we say it every year. It's a lot of hype about this first race, but I'm mentally in a completely different spot than I was in the years past, and I think also these off-season races have helped me to stay in race shape. And basically tomorrow is just another race for me, and we're just going to start up and see where we stack up and see how much more work we have to do to be where we want to be. So overall, I've been feeling great on the bike. These track conditions are probably going to play a big role tomorrow. That's going to be most likely a little bit soft, but we all know by the time nighttime comes around, the track's going to be a lot different than what we start off tomorrow morning. And yeah, I'm going to have some fun with it and try to get back up to where I belong. There's a lot of really, really fast guys up here, and it's going to be difficult, but I'm up for the challenge.
I have a question for Aaron. Hey, you always seem very calm and collective, but I'm curious, do you feel the pressure to this year more than last year, or more than previously, to get on the podium consistently and to show the promise that everyone knows you have and that you know you have?
Not really. I mean, I don't really feel that pressure, because I know with a good off season and a good bike, I can do what I need to do, and that's what I've had this year, and that's what I'll continue to do is what I need to do, and I did it in 2021, and I was right up in the mix. You know, I didn't have the greatest off season in 20 or leading up to 21, so yeah, I think I'm gonna have a really, really good year. I think I'm gonna open a lot of people's eyes, and yeah, I'm ready. Everything feels good, and I'm ready to go.
Kellen Brower here with Racer X. Ken, getting back on the Suzuki, we've heard a lot about how much it hasn't changed over the years. So have you felt some of the similar characteristics that you had when you raced it last, and what are some of those things that you like about it?
Yes and no. Did it give me a familiar feeling? Absolutely, and that's why it kind of caught me off guard when I went up to Madeira to ride the bike, right? I kind of had my sights set on a direction, and that got, you know, once I went up there for these couple of days, it threw me a bit for a loop, right? I had a lot of thinking to do. But I do not think that the bike feels anything like how my bike in 2016 was the last time I raced a Suzuki, so I don't think it feels anything like that. I'm on different suspension company, and I think the whole bike's a lot different. Now, when it comes to the chassis side of things, I haven't really paid too much attention over the last few years what has changed and what hasn't. But there was something about it that made my heart smile, so that's what I went after.
I have a question for Eli. Almost 10 years in the 450 class, but you've never won the opener of a series. Is there a step you're trying to take to start off a little stronger this year? Or is the management that you've had to get titles, are you okay if you don't win the opener?
I mean, it would be awesome to get one, but it's not the end of the world if we don't. So the best thing you can do here is just gather information and try to apply that to the following weeks, right, and improve yourself throughout, or to get into that good spot for the season. So that's always my mindset with Anaheim 1. I mean, I was really close one year and then had a crash, but yeah, it's going to be a different Anaheim 1. I think the way those transitions are, it's going to be soft. So I don't know, maybe a little change up will be good for me.
Thank you, guys. The 450 division for the 2023 Supercross season, stack class. Here they are. Thank you, guys. Check, check. Okay, a couple things before we wrap up. A couple announcements we want to make before we go. Monster Energy Supercross, the official video game 6, is coming out March of this season, so make note in your calendar. March of 2023, the 6th version of Monster Energy Supercross, the official video game.
Yeah, and a shout out to the state of Utah, the state of sport. They will be hosting our finale for Monster Energy Supercross as they have for the last couple of years. So big thanks to them for welcoming us and our championship crowning event with open arms.
And finally, the Fan Fest is back in 2023 at all rounds except for Detroit. So if you're coming to a Supercross this year, get there early and take in all the fun stuff that you could do at the Fan Fest this year. Hope everybody had a good time, and let's get this thing going and start racing in 2023. Thank you.